So let me just do a very, very short preface that my voice may sound a little strange. So really quickly, and I'll go through the longer story for channel members, but basically, well, I'm a little sick. I don't know when this started. It seems like a couple days ago, but I was sniffing and coughing and blowing my nose a few times. I figured, okay, it was just spring or something, but nope, it just got worse and worse. Kind of strange too, because I've consistently been taking a lot of tea and hot chocolate, but whatever. So it might seem I'm just artificially sounding, um, sick to um, to verify Marissa's conspiracy theory that we're just, oh, we're playing victims. It's like, no, this is the voice I have, and it is, I am sick. So, and I got to go to work in a few hours. So I'm going to make this real brief, because there really wasn't much there. So she did this very strange tirade. I mean, the main target was Sam after the bars, a channel she used to be friendly with. And I'm still not clear what her issue is. So the substantive controversy is that Sam played uh, basically a very unedited, I'm sure there were still some edits here and there, a version of the audio file she shared on her channel, the Relatable Reese channel, about Scoville and the long con. I think that's what the title of the video was, long con. She took it down recently. Why? She didn't really quite explain it, except for, oh, that's done. We're already finished with that. Okay. All right. Keep that in mind. So, what's the big deal? Well, apparently, some of the names of the victims of Scoville, and I'm trying to remember because I was there. I listened. I didn't listen to Sam from the very beginning to the very end because I had heard most of this file, so it wasn't that new. There are a few new tidbits here and there, which I'll do for channel members. But I should forewarn, because, I want to be honest, what you get with channel membership. It is a few new things, but if you had heard Knife Order playing that little excerpt, there's really not much more. It is about, 7 or 8 minutes. And I think the basic upshot is, again, I want to be very careful the wording of this. It makes Scoville look a little bit better, and it makes her look a little bit worse. It does not, I want to repeat, does not make him into a saint, but it does frame him more evenly. So Reese claims that she cut out the portions to save the victims. It doesn't involve the female victims, so she's lying. In fact, it's a male victim. There's a portion that involved a male victim. She doesn't bring that up. So apparently male victims are fine with her. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with this long tirade. If you had just listened to 20 minutes of it, that's about it. Now, I'm the first one to encourage, listen to everything, listen to the whole thing. I am asking for money sometimes to do research, so I want to be thorough. I listened to most of what Reese said, and it was like very repetitive. And the main gist is that she feels that Sam, Knife Order, and others are hateful and evil and hypocritical because they did doxing. Technically, it's not doxing. However, I try to be super cautious. I try not. Again, I will emphasize, try not to get in people's names, private info, period. Even if the information is technically public, I try to be very careful and not go into that. It has to be a huge exception to the rule. And Scoville and Marissa fit the exception to the rule because they do things that are so incredible and so deceptive. And they just created these fantasy worlds. And it's like, well, we got to double check a few things. And not surprisingly, we double check and it all collapses. So Sam is a bad guy because of the alleged doxing. But her real problem seems to be that Knife Order is using some really tough language. And it might surprise Marissa, but I actually agree with her that I just don't think it's wise to keep escalating this. And this is nothing to do with Casper or Knife Order. They have their channels, they do what they want. But it does diminish the argument if you become right as, dirty as the other side. But that's my stance. I think, the difference between the two sides becomes more murky. But if Knife Order wants to take that risk, that is him. I have no issue defending him or listening to his content or defending most of it. I don't defend all of it because I think a few times he's not. And again, you have to remember these are a lot of these are rhetorical. He's not being literal with every single word, so you have to just be careful. Don't take every single word literal. It's just the basic gist is fun. So I try to be a little bit more precise, a little bit more cautious, but I don't think Knife Order is deliberately lying. But there are a few times he gets things wrong, or he's going a little overboard with speculation. And that is his right. He's not hurting anyone, and he emphasizes that's his point of view. He can only say what he thinks is true. And also, you got to remember, he's also very sick. And I don't want to compare myself to him, although I've had now this voice issue and this big leg injury. But yeah, he's been in the hospital recently. He's going to take a vacation with the family. So I don't know. She's really misdescribing what's going on. So I don't think there's much with the doxing controversy. I agree we need to be careful, but she just kept going on and on. Oh, you did that deliberately. She brought no evidence that there was deliberate doxing, so that's just going to fall apart. So let's get to the other main thing, and that's what she kept going on about that Sam and Knife Order and others are going to steal her story about the Jesters. So if you're just coming into this controversy, the Jesters are basically this Masonic group for men. They basically just get together, have parties, drink a lot, and yes, have sex with women. And Reese has reconstructed it into this big, eyes wide shut kind of cult that traffics women, and that's just not what they do. You know, I'm a libertarian on these things. If men want to pay for sex, or vice versa, if women want to pay for sex, whatever. I think it's better that we deregulate these things. But it's also, by the way, this is a woman who freely talks about making money having sex. And one of her, quote, first husbands was a really old man. And it's pretty obvious she was with him because, well, he had money. So the consistent thing with Marisa is with men, it seems she wants to control them. And if she cannot control them and they try to leave her or speak out against her, she gets into these tirades and these weird revenge fixations. But Sam is not doing anything wrong. No laws have been broken. She's also misleading people on that. She says, oh, I checked with my lawyer and checked. Well, maybe check with the lawyer again. No laws were broken. Now, what is legal is not moral. I would agree that there's one tricky case which Sam has talked about, and that's for him to deal with, that apparently him and Scoville made up an interview. And that's definitely knife's edge if that's bad or if you think Sam is a bad person for doing that. But again, you have to also consider the whole story that he did a lot of free work for them. In that audio file, she admits that. Sorry, I'm coughing and phlegm is coming up again. But she basically was like, "Oh yeah, can we get it together with Sam and he'll." She just presumes that Sam will just do free work for her. I mean, it's just mind blowing what she's trying to do. And listen, I think that's just bad logic. We're judging after the bars just because Knife Order is getting a little tough. And you have to also remember that she was lying for years and years about Knife Order. So if Knife Order wants to get a little angry, that's him. I try to be more balanced and moderate. But that's me. Also, again, I'm not trying to force people to watch the old videos, but she also thought delusionally she was addressing me in another video. The one before this one. And it's like, that wasn't me. So, I mean, this is just a woman in the grip of a lot of conspiracy, paranoia, and no receipts. She just kept going, oh, you deliberately. No, there's no evidence of that. You're trying to steal my. The Jesters are a social club. They've been here before she was born. People can write about it. People can talk about it. They can do podcasts. She doesn't have exclusivity at all. At all. So if Sam was to what? Deliberately, almost word for word, tried to talk about her biography and pass it off as his own, she might have a case and she might be able to go to court. Beyond that, no. No, it's not your story. Also, by the way, I thought the story was other women being victimized. How is she the victim? The most victimization I could get is her ex husband, right? While she was at home, he was having sex with other women's with the Jesters, and she's like, "Oh, don't you think that's weird, guys? Don't you think it's weird? Don't you think it's weird?" It's like just going into these weird, moronic, hypocritical tirades because she had to be forced to admit that, oh yeah, she was cheating too. She was cheating with Scoville, who's done things far worse than After the Bars, far worse than Knife Hoarder, far worse than me. We're not about the same categories at all. Like Sam went to jail for counterfeiting. Knife Hoarder admits he has a pretty murky history with addiction. I'm not claiming to be a total angel. And again, we don't all agree. We're not all in together. I mean, I like Goop. I like Knife Hoarder. I like Sam. I don't like Marilyn. Marilyn attacked me and my dead mother. So I don't like her. I don't care if she wears an FTG shirt. She's a piece of garbage. She's a monster. However, two things can be true. And, because Marilyn's also stupid, she brought into question a few things about Marissa's sad stories. Now, she's not doing it for the right reason, but it's fine to question Marissa. It's fine to do work in a similar category. That is not breaking any laws. It's not stealing anything. It's not dishonoring victims. So it was just a big tirade going nowhere, making a lot of false accusations, and yeah, just not a lot. But we'll do more work on this. But yeah, I don't know if she wants to have some legitimate arguments about this or that criticism, fine. But just doing all crocodile tears about victims is not going to help anyone.